me like. Give it to me like.
Hey, hey. Hey, Sweet Misery. You didn't happen to record last night, did you? Hey, Allie. Hey, Sly. Hey, Annie. Get down. Why are you bugging me? What? What? You want to say hi? Get down. All right. Some good news on the front. I'm getting a co-host. Hey, Bustard. I was just thinking about you recently. I swear to you. I saw your name in Discord. I was like, wow, I wonder what happened to him. I'm getting a co-host. We're working out the details, so you guys won't have to just see me. And I haven't told it. Yeah, co-host. Probably not every night, but she wants to build a channel, and I figured it was a good idea. The person that she's doing it now with doesn't she said she never wants to record. So it's my daughter-in-law. You guys met her once, but she's lost like 100 pounds since last time you guys saw her. So we're gonna put something together. And that's that. So where is everybody? Oh, that's right. Everybody's watching Trainwrecks. My bad. I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm tired. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna play Leilani's call with the guy, but Jones already played it, so I don't know about that. I don't know if you guys haven't heard it yet. We can play it, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, she fucking just stole my content. But a couple of things I want to go over. We're gonna start with SF because he's a fucking liar and an idiot, but we all knew that already. But I just can't believe how this man lies. And the worst part is, all right, Gina, the worst part is that 570 people, 570 fucking people are okay with this comment when it's all a blatant lie. I mention you to pal sometimes. I think you could serve as a great inspiration of folks who are looking to stream, especially since folks are now needing to move off TikTok. I don't know, Bustard. My numbers have dropped dramatically. I need to reorganize, something. Everybody in this genre has gone to shit. Absolutely gone to shit. and I ignore haters and ignore all the bullshit. I did it all wrong because all these people that don't fucking ignore it have millions of views. Not millions, but tons. So let's start with SF first. So Burn Toast puts out this community post where 570 people liked it. Granny's watching is in the comments, which is mind-blowing to me, and I'll show you why in a minute. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, Burnt Toast lost all credibility that she ever fucking had in the first place with who she calls out, who she sticks up for, who she does. Like, it's a fucking joke already. But all of these so-called smart people think SF is a good person and thinks he's legit. Let's see how legit he really is. First, let's start with some videos of, hey, True Texan, let's start with some videos. Here is a polished private investigator. Oh. Now, this is a recorded video, so it's not a live, but we're going to go to a live next. Absolutely, Bustard. Anytime. All right, so here is a regular private investigator. Listen to the way he speaks. I'm just going to play, a couple of minutes.
Take your tie off, take your jacket off, put a jumper on, put a beanie hat on. In the back of any surveillance vehicle in the boot, you'll see a variety of different types of clothing. If you want to change your appearance completely, never forget your shoes, because that's one item that investigators can miss in changing.
Okay, so that is Mike LaCourte. He is a private investigator. This was a video done by Wired. It's why I only played a minute because it's got like 11 million views. But he's a private investigator. Private investigator answers PI questions, tech support. Okay. Now let's go to a private investigator who speaks live. Hold on. And this, I just picked some random person that happens to be live. I mean, he wasn't live now, but it's a live stream. So he's talking live. And he's an old guy. I'm not finding, some young, hot guy. And listen to the way he speaks.
John Hagan, how are you doing? Hey, John, do you ever run into a locate case for process service or as a team? They only charge for one, but they go out as a team and they work together because they enjoy working together and they enjoy the excitement of it, but they don't want to do it every single day. So, and I know people that have done it for years and years. They do not like to do the sales. They do not like to do all the paperwork. They don't like the problems that come up when there's a problem in the case. When you're subcontracting, it's just, you're getting hired, you're going out and doing the work, you're turning in your report, and pretty much it's all done then. You don't have to deal directly with the client usually. If you like doing sales, if you like doing marketing, if you like doing all that stuff, which I enjoy a lot of that, most of my adult life, I have been running businesses. So I really enjoy the business end of it. So that's why when I started, I was just getting the experience so I could end up starting up my own businesses. So I hope that helps, Kyle. A lot more people hopping in here.
So that one, hey, Rocco. So that one's to show you how this guy is live. This guy did a live show. Now, let's look at how SF Investigates speaks on a live show.
Media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't, and I use the internet, and that's how you solve cases. People that think that private investigator means secret, it's like media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't, and they use the internet, and that's how you solve cases. People that think that private investigator means secret, it's like media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't, and they use the internet, and that's how you solve cases. People that think that private investigator means secret, it's like media, and I put things out there to see how people react and who it upsets and who it doesn't, and they use the internet, and that's how you solve cases. People that think that private investigator means secret.
Now, who would you hire? Hey, Robbie. SF Investigates sounds like the idiot that he is. And I cannot believe people fall and think that he's a good guy. But let's get into his lie. So this was burnt up. Hold on. Oh, let me also give a special shout out to Desiree D. It is her birthday. So happy birthday, girl. I know you're going to hear this on the rebound. Hoosier, it doesn't really matter if it's out of context or not. The point was the way he speaks. Hey, ow. Hang on, guys. Ow. It was the way he speaks that he cannot even speak because he's an idiot. But let's get into the lie. Hold on. Okay. So Burnt Toast writes, yikes. Bruce Castor's formally informed Joseph Lesniak that his name was fraudulently used in connection with the lawsuit. Castor stated unequivocally that none of the plaintiffs, including his clients. He clarified that he only represents Dog in a single matter in Texas. Castor has demanded that Lesniak notify all plaintiffs and parties involved in the suit and inform the court about this misrepresentation. Okay, one, this is old news already. She's acting like it's brand new, but let's go further. I guess Bullhorn Betty needs another GFM to hire an attorney for this too. Burnt Toast. Girl, for you to say anything about anybody needing a GoFundMe or money is fucking laughable. Totally laughable. Why don't you speak to Granny or Queen about their GoFundMes and their funds before you have the fucking audacity to say anything about anybody else's needing money? Thank you. So SF writes, Bruce Castor has formally informed Joseph Lesniak that his name was fraudulently used in connection with the lawsuit. Castor stated unequivocally that none of the plaintiffs, including Hong and Nick the Hat, are his clients. He clarified that he only represents Dog in a single matter in Texas. Castor has demanded that Lesniak notify all plaintiffs and parties involved in the suit and inform the court about this misrepresentation. Lesniak is now obligated on behalf of Hung at Night and Nick to notify the court that they falsified claim Bruce Castor as their counsel when in fact he was not. Castor also confirmed he had no knowledge of the injunction or complaint filed. This constitutes fraud upon the court. Furthermore, every plaintiff who signed a verification is now liable as they swore under oath to statements without even having a retainer agreement with Castor. This is all bullshit. Hung knows it's all over and he's just burning it down before he ghosts all the suckers that believe him. It's over. I am further pressing the complaints against Lesniak and Castor. Watch Hung spin 100 plus tweets per hour. 545 people think this is legit. The funniest, though, you have Granny in the comments. I guess she doesn't have Twitter. We have Granny in the comments. People kept bothering me, Castor and Nick. Yes, real attorneys paid and retained to fight these frivolous allegations will continue to bother Mr. Castor until he officially and legally removes his name from this bogus filing. It's not a Scrivener's error. It's a misunderstanding. It was done to offer validity to a frivolous filing. Well, that's funny, Granny, because you certainly raised enough money for this frivolous filing. You certainly were begging people, oh my God, I'm getting sued. I need money. Please give me money. Talk about fraudulent. Get the fuck out of here. But let's go on. Wait till you see this. And all of these people, 56 comments. Wow, SF is so wonderful. SF is so great. Go SF. Okay, we'll check this out. Let's see how good SF is. So, hold on, I gotta pull it up. All right. So Nick, I guess, reached out to somebody. Hoosier? No, I didn't. So why don't you get your fucking facts straight? If you had your facts straight, you'd know that I didn't even come close to doing the same thing, to be fair. So why don't you go back and get your fucking facts right and then try to call me out? Thank you very much. Because you obviously don't have your facts straight. So try again. So Nick reached out to Bruce, I guess, to find out if any of this was true. Bruce says, of course it's not true, for heaven's sake. I am forwarding all blah, 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 and then it's blacked off. But there is I'm sure, I'm forwarding all so-and-so jobs emails to you, and I am blah, blah, blah. And that is from Bruce Castor. Who's your hippie, Denise? I will address you once and once only, okay? When I did it, CPS was called and they accused my son of raping his sister, okay? That's a little fucking different. And then when that happened, that was the second CPS call. So I stated that I was going to get an attorney. The problem was COVID hit, and that happened right in the beginning of COVID, and courts were closed. And when I went to my meeting with an attorney, they said there is nothing we can do. That is going to take months and months and months. How is that compared to a frivolous lawsuit that people are raising thousands of dollars on? Please tell me, show me the fucking comparison. Show me where that is the exact same thing. You did the same thing, Laura. Not even fucking close. So tell me where it's the same. Now sit the fuck down and mind your own fucking business and come at me when you have some actual facts. Don't come at me with your petty ass bullshit. You did the same thing when not even fucking close. The scenarios were different. The situation was different. The time was different. And what you're stating is completely fucking misunderstood. So cut your bullshit. Thank you. No, I wouldn't, Hoosier. You want to know why? Because I'm smart enough to know that nothing was even filed with the court. There is no fucking RICO. It is bullshit. I said that from day one. From day one, it is bullshit. They did not even get it filed properly. It is a piece of paper that is worth jack shit. The only reason Granny is involved is because Granny lives in Pennsylvania. The whole thing was a fucking joke to begin with. If it was going to go anywhere, they would have had a judge sign it. Without a judge signing it, it means absolutely diddly squat. I can write something, file it with a court, and make sure that a judge never even fucking looks at it. And that is exactly what they did. Nobody was trying to threaten or shut anyone up. They did not file it with a judge. Therefore, it is meaningless. Absolutely fucking meaningless. Nobody needed an attorney. Nobody needed to do anything until a judge signed it. When a judge signed it, then you want to start getting an attorney. Then you want to, okay, now there's a judge involved signing it. I need to fucking do something. But until there's a judge signing it, it means nothing. That was nothing more than a piece of fucking paper. And therefore, months later, it still hasn't been signed by a judge. Nick the Hat is a proven convicted felon. Nobody was going to take him seriously. He's not even legally near the not even near the case, and he's not allowed near the case because he's a fucking felon. That's all that needed to be known. But that's why you don't take something like this fucking seriously and run, oh my God, I need money. I'm being sued in a RICO, blah, blah, blah. What a fucking joke. An absolute fucking joke. At least Queen can say that, at least Queen Bee could say, yes, I'm in an actual lawsuit and I needed money. At least she can say that. Granny scammed a community. Scammed. And y'all sit there like, oh, well, she was scared. No, she wasn't. She learned from her bestie how to raise money from ignorant fools on the internet. Plain and simple. I totally agree with that. Totally agree. Granny could have easily walked away from this case and covered thousands of other missing kids. But the grifting off Sebastian was her priority. Now she could deal with the reckless mouth. 100%. I am going to highlight that. And the only reason why Granny got involved was because of Brittany. I've said this 1,000 times over. Because Brittany was making money. Brittany was growing her channel. Granny was jealous and Granny wanted a piece of it. And anybody that can't see that, you got blinders on. So, back to this. The point is that this right here shows that SF is a liar. Shocker, right? I know it's a big shocker. Yeah, Bruce Castor is not a part of the fake RICO filing. It's not even a filing. It's not even in there. Yes, it's in the court, but that's it. It's not anything to even worry about. It's bullshit. I'm telling you, I could literally go. No, Hoosier, that's called being real. And I'm sorry that people can't handle it. I would rather have 74 people in here with getting real facts than sitting there being all nicey nice and being fake as fuck, being a scammer, being a fucking loser behind the scenes, being a fraud, and then coming on my platform going, oh, I love you guys so much. You guys, and meanwhile, they're fucking scamming behind the scenes. That's what you want, Hoosier? Then you're in the wrong channel. Because whether you like me or hate me, I'm going to give it to you exactly the way it is. Plain and simple. Yep. You got that right, Queen. 100%. So this isn't a matter of like or not like. This is a matter of being fucking real. And speaking of being real, I got something to show you guys. I don't know how many of you guys saw this, but it was fucking classic. It's going to take me a minute to find it. Hold on. I have never shown facts. Are you fucking joking me? Hoosier, have a good day. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking asshole. You don't belong here. You belong in like fucking Granny's watching. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Well, I've never shown facts. I always fucking show facts, you dumb bitch. I'm the only motherfucker that shows facts around here. Get the fuck out of here. Go cry to QB how mean I was to you. Fucking idiot. All right. Sly and Amber, I need your help on this one. Oh, wait. You know what? I can go to history. Hold on. God, I watched so many YouTube videos. My God. All right. Hold on. Let me go to Discord. It'll be easier. Here it is. I gotta find the spot. Bear with me.
But instead, they went with the one they could get for free, which was the one they got through a child under the age of 12 for. I think there's like 5. I think they're all that kind of crime. Main team, or that I'm being paid, or one of them actually said that, and here's what gets me, because Chris and Katie left him alone with a third. Well, the reason was that's where Sebastian's therapy sessions. Hold
on, bear with me.
It means that somebody can confirm that you were somewhere else. Covering it. That, the Proudfoots both have alibis. Motive, opportunity. Correct the record here. I have never had a conversation with either of these people. Since he's made against certain people, some of the claims that he has made about potential felon. So I just kind of dismissed her and wrote her off. Brother asks you to cover it.
Hold on.
You do it. Blah. And then she's got these an invite, and they had other.
Okay. I'll let you guys know that the person I'm about to play has over 600,000 subs. He's 28 years old, and he's worth over a lot of money. Okay. Very intelligent. Never really got into true crime. Somehow landed on QB's panel. How? I haven't got a fucking clue. I did see his name on Twitter a couple of times. But let's listen to what he had to say. It's kind of funny. MD, just so you know, because they told me not to, but I did make the offer. But you wouldn't know that, would you? I asked them if they wanted money back. They told me no, keep it. Buy something for my son. And no, I don't expect Granny or QB to return anything. So try again. But why, even so, why are you bringing up shit from fucking 5 years ago, 4 years ago? Is that all you guys have is something to compare it to from fucking 4 years ago? Get the fuck over yourself, for real. And again, me discussing that has already been discussed 1,000 times over. 1,000 times over the last 4 or 5 years. Go bother someone else. Thanks. I got no time for all your petty ass bullshit from shit that happened fucking years ago. And comparing it to this bullshit now. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You know what I found out on Tuesday?
What did you find out on Tuesday?
None of the people who talk about Sebastian Rogers were aware that we exist.
What do you mean?
We put our series out in July, and a whole bunch of these people were like getting mad at me for just trying to jump in now. And then the better part was that they like watched our live stream and somehow perceived that that was the documentary we made.
Interesting.
Interesting, right?
I mean, I can forgive them for not necessarily knowing who we are.
Yeah,
and not
it
but
was
considering these are people that
He's going to explain who he is. I didn't know him either. Very intelligent, though. I mean, great voice, but very intelligent.
to my understanding, are exclusively talking about the Sebastian Rogers.
All they do.
Yeah, and the content made about it. Considering, I think our videos did reasonably well, to say the least.
Pretty damn well.
Yeah, it's surprising that they wouldn't have been made aware of them at some point.
And this isn't even like a bragging issue. I'm just confused.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Why do you think I just now got... First of all, I explained in the...
Now, what I think is funny, though, just listening to his voice, his inflections, these two are like two computer dorks who love history and probably sit there and compare notes about history and life and everything. And how he ended up in QB sector, I don't have a clue. But you can tell he's very intelligent. It's so funny, though. Just keep listening.
And here's what I realized is they didn't even watch the video from last Friday.
Well, the other thing is, did they invite you on the show?
No, not necessarily. But when you use my name and tag me, I'm going to consider that an invite. And they had their StreamYards link in the chat so anybody could join. They run these things like panels where just anyone can join.
If they hadn't seen your stuff, why were they talking about you?
Because they saw the live stream we did a week ago.
Ah.
And then
and that's it.
Yeah, so that kind of... which again was weird because over and over in that live stream, I referenced our documentary, our previous live stream, our documentary when we started covering this case in July. So anyway, I went on. There were two that mentioned us by name. They were Cluminati, who, fair, I did shit on her.
Yeah, you did.
She deserved it.
Elaborate again why.
Well, her titles are usually like, Seth Pee Poo Poo Rogers is such a dum-dum. I'm so offended, blah. And then she's got these here's the best part. She's got one of it's a cartoon with Seth Rogers' face on it, just peeing on something. And I'm like, this is uncouth to say the least.
Is it like a Calvin and Hobbes reference or something?
I don't know. I think she just doesn't have any idea what the word decorum means. But anyway, so she's like, talking shit to me, and I just popped into her chat, donated $10 and said, here's that attention you ordered. Because her stream was about me wanting attention. But the best part was that and I should have thought to do this tonight. It would have been really funny. The best part was that the title was something along the lines of like Aiden from the Lore Lodge wants some attention or something, which meanwhile, like,
wait.
Our videos do relatively the same number of views no matter what topic we cover.
Hang on.
So me covering Sebastian Rogers, if she had actually paid attention to anything I said, I wasn't going to cover Sebastian Rogers because what do we typically not do, Aiden?
Oh, we don't usually inject drama into ongoing investigations.
Exactly, the ongoing investigations. I try not to talk about ongoing investigations because there's never the full amount of information, ever. The police are never forthcoming with everything they have.
But in this case, why did we choose to talk about it?
Because a
ongoing?
country music artist asked me to. From Nashville. From like one of the bigger Nashville country music families. So I'm like, all right, you know, when Miley Cyrus's little brother asks you to cover a case, you do it. You do it. So I did. But what I was laughing about is Cluminati and her attempt to insult me. First of all, it says it's about attention. It obviously was not. And then the cartoon version of me was me in a maid outfit.
No, it wasn't.
It was, which was funny to me because there's an entire episode of this show in which I'm wearing a maid outfit.
You gotta dig deep for that.
You gotta dig deep for that one. But how she's sitting here calling me a bad researcher. Bro, you couldn't even figure out that I actually wore a maid outfit on stream once.
Yeah.
You know?
You should have been like, you could have at least pulled the picture of me actually in one.
Exactly. Like it was there. You could have just done it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of dismissed her and wrote her off. But then I did hop on to Queen Bee's panel because I was not aware at the time that she's apparently like been arrested so many times for assault and things like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sitting there reading through these arrest records and I'm like, hey, listen, they might not be real, but they were sent to me by a source I trust. Assault, lying to the cops, battery, well, at least threatened battery. And on this panel, they're telling me, this was the funny thing, is on this panel, they're telling me like, well, didn't you know that Bullhorn Betty, what is Bullhorn Betty's relevance to the night Sebastian disappeared? They're like, did you know that Bullhorn Betty said that she was like,
Rocco, the reason why they're in the thumbnail is because when we get to Billie Jo fucking went off about all of them being bad moms. And that's why the thumbnail reads, RJ. I thought that was Rocco that asked. That's why they're in the thumbnail. If you can look at the thumbnail, you can see. But last night, Billie Jo was saying how all of them are horrible moms and horrible people. That's why the thumbnail.
they started a GoFundMe so that she could buy a gun that she said she was going to use to shoot Terry Bowersox. So I look into it a little bit, and no, that's not what happened at all. Weird that a felon is lying about another potential felon.
Wait, so what did actually happen?
I don't want to go into the details on stream right now.
Okay.
We will be going into those details when they become relevant, which will be when we're sitting down with Steve Fisher. He's going to be on the show on the 20th. He is the Proudfoot's PI. We're also going to be sitting down with Tony Mathis and Seth Rogers. Tony is Seth's spokesperson. A lot of people have been like, why does Seth need a spokesperson? I think the exact reason Seth needs a spokesperson is some of the stuff that they pointed to Seth saying on panels, where, to be honest, he said some pretty immature and stupid stuff. It was nothing that was incriminating in the case, in the sense that like it would have anything to do with this disappearance, but it was stuff where you're like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
It's just kind of a weird, what can he verify? Because one of the things that's been coming since the very beginning of the case, law enforcement, to my knowledge, has never actually said that they confirmed Chris Proudfoot was at work the entire night. But Seth keeps saying he was, or not Seth, Steve keeps saying he was, and Chris keeps saying he was. So things like that. But on this panel with Queen Bee, I hop on. And what was fascinating to me is there were two things. One, the reason I got on is because somebody told me on Twitter that Queen Bee told her audience in that show that I had been speaking to Seth and Tony. I want to be very clear. I did not speak to Seth or Tony until after that panel. So I hopped on the panel to simply say, just want to correct the record here. I have never had a conversation with either of these people. I told Seth, who was in my chat, come on the show, say your piece, just like I said to Chris. Tony eventually called me later that night, and he had a conversation. We decided they're going to come on the show. Still working on getting that exact date scheduled, but it will be sometime in the near future. But what I thought was really odd, really interesting about the Queen Bee one, and I know she's probably going to try and dig up something about me now that I've pointed out the felonious history, but I've acknowledged pretty much every effed up thing I've ever done or said, as far as I'm aware. So happy hunting, I guess. But every time I tried to bring the conversation back around to means, motive, opportunity, the three things you look for with a potential suspect, it was always derailed. Well, Bullhorn Betty. Well, Seth said this during a live stream. That was kind of weird. And if I ever pointed out, well, what about this brazen lie Chris Proudfoot told on this panel? It was, well, why does that matter? I'm like, well, because it is very much related to the disappearance. Like it has directly to do with the disappearance. Bullhorn Betty does not. Seth has a concrete alibi. He was at work at a state prison or a county jail, I think. Like, he has a rock solid alibi. One of my favorite things from all of this was people insisting in a lot of these panels and stuff, even back in July when I was covering it, that, the Proudfoots both have alibis. First of all, as to my knowledge, law enforcement has never confirmed Seth's alibi, or it's not Seth, Chris's alibi. What you looking at?
No, just making sure that the message I got wasn't relevant.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I've never seen law enforcement confirm Chris's alibi. That's one thing I want to ask Steve Fisher about. One thing I want to ask Tony and Seth about. And one of the other things I saw was people insisting, this happened mostly on Reddit. I had a bunch of conversations with a couple of people where they insisted that Katie had an alibi. Aiden, do you know what Katie's alibi was?
No, what was
She
it?
was asleep.
Oh, yes. Of course, the very corroborable alibi.
Yeah, literally not an alibi.
See, before he goes on, one thing that I want to point out. Everybody can have an opinion about this case. Does not mean that they're wrong. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's someone I like or hate or anything. But if he wants to have an opinion about Chris and Katie, he's entitled. It doesn't mean he's right, but he can still have an opinion about Chris and Katie. So everybody wants to judge everyone else. As long as you're respectful and you do it honestly, you can have an opinion about Chris and Katie. Doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong, though.
Like, by definition, I was asleep at home. Can anybody confirm that? No, that's not an alibi. That's you saying you have an alibi. But an alibi typically means that somebody can confirm that you were somewhere else, that you could not have done this. So just really weird. There were a whole bunch of other lies, and these people seem to live in a fantasy world also, where Sebastian Rogers was never, ever, ever victimized by the Proudfoots. They seem to live in this fantasy world where it was proven in a court that Seth abused Sebastian. They talk about how Seth was kicked off of a military base. All these different things. And I'm sitting there going, like, I've heard all of this stuff before. And
Okay, before I go on, please tell me, just put one and not Sly or Amber. Do you guys know why Seth was kicked off of the military base? Do you know anything about the military base and Seth Rogers? Because I have never heard what he's about to say before. I knew about Sebastian, but I did not know about the military base. So I'm just curious if anybody else in here is with me or, okay, Rocco, you didn't either. So anyone following the case, just let me know if you ever knew this story, because I didn't. And I think I followed this case for the facts. So the fact that all of these people speak about Sebastian and did not bring this up is kind of strange to me.
kind of just let him talk. It was like, oh, I hadn't heard that. That's really weird. And sometimes that was actually a genuine response. But like for the most part, it was like, well, oh, no, I'll have to look into that, you know?
No, not domestic stuff, Marie. Just hear it out. Tell me if you ever heard this before, because I hadn't. I mean, I don't look up the case at all, but the fact that all of these people, from Betty to Queen Bee to BJ to all of them, nobody has brought this up. And it just tells me that none of them know a fucking thing about this case.
Also, one of them got on like a weird thing about me having like overpaid for my degree and it's useless and I'm not married, so what would I even know about kids and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, like most of what I cover is history. And it's allowed me to have a 6-figure career under 30 with a history degree. Like, beat him. Come on, my guy. I remember who it was. Don't be weird. I don't do drama. You're making me do drama right now, and I don't like it, but I will happily call it out when it comes to my doorstep. So I don't know. It was just a whole weird thing. But like, for example, Seth was kicked off of a military base. No, Seth was married to a woman who worked on that military base. As a spouse, he was allowed on the military base. Once he was no longer a spouse, Katie never went to the base staff and said, hey, don't let him on anymore. Now, Aiden, why do you think Seth was going on the military base? It was a naval base. Why do you think he was going there?
Could be a variety of reasons, but...
Well, the reason was that's where Sebastian's therapy sessions were.
Oh, really?
So he was just attending the therapy sessions that were held on the base with the base psychologist, who, again, to my knowledge...
Did anyone know that? Hey, East Coast, did anyone know that? Because I did not know that. I never heard that from anybody that talks about the case. When I asked people in Discord yesterday if you guys knew that, and they confused me with what he's going to say next, but I never heard that. So all of these people that claim that they know so much about the case and they talk about it every day for a year, they have never spoke about this. Seth explained that he got kicked off the base or for therapy. Because that's where people are confused. I know what Seth talked about as far as what you're going to hear next. But all right, let me play it out. And beats him, I don't think he's wasted his degree as you sit next to a bunch of felons.
Was not a child psychologist.
Interesting. I mean, there are plenty of instances in which, you might not have a dedicated child psychologist available.
Exactly. But in the state of California, I think they were in the San Diego area, there should have been somewhere that they could have found a child psychologist. But instead, they went with the one they could get for free, which was the one they got through the military, who was not trained to handle child sex abuse.
Yeah, I would imagine the VA doesn't really specialize in that.
Yeah. Now, why did Sebastian need this therapy? It was because Chris and Katie left him alone with a 13-year-old boy who assaulted him. And then they didn't press charges. What was their explanation? Oh, well, in the state of California, you can't press charges against a 13-year-old for that. Well, in reality, the state...
Yeah, that's bullshit. You can press charges against anybody.
of California did not have a law saying that at all when it happened in, I think, 2017. But in 2018, they did pass a law saying that you can actually prosecute children under 12 for those crimes. It's one of the few crimes in California that you can prosecute a child under the age of 12 for. I think there's like 5. I think they're all that kind of crime.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it just weird claim after weird claim after weird claim that are all, as far as I can tell, either totally made up or complete misrepresentations of the truth. So, you know, that's also, they just get weirdly personal about everything. You know, I kept trying to keep this, you know, hey, let's keep this focused on Sebastian. Let's keep this focused on the night he disappeared, right? You know,
generally the goal of, anything that's talking about a missing child that people are trying to find.
Because I think I pretty well explained that I'm not being paid to cover this. They all had it in their heads that I'm part of some team, like green team, or that I'm being paid. Or one of them actually said that, and here's what gets me, because I actually went and confirmed this with Brazen. One of them said that Brazen Cyrus, they asked me if I was being paid, and I was like, no, I looked into this because I got a DM from.
When I heard this yesterday, Brazen Cyrus, I did not even put together it was Miley Cyrus's brother. I kept saying to myself, who the fuck is Brazen? I never heard that name before. Well, now it all makes sense. And it makes sense what he said earlier. Miley Cyrus's brother send you a message, look into this case. You're going to be like, okay, dude, I'm looking into it. Plain and simple.
from an Instagram from Brazen Cyrus, and he said, "Hey, there's this weird case," and I recognized the name because I'd seen it back in March while I was covering Riley Strain, and I said, "Yeah, I'll look into it." That was it. That was the extent of the conversation. Now, Brazen and I have, chatted back and forth here and there about this case as well as other things since, but they were under the impression that he had paid me. Which also, why do you think the Cyrus family would be paying for a YouTuber to point the finger at these two random parents?
Yeah, there are so many hoops in that argument. You couldn't jump through them cleanly.
And why me? If you're gonna go pay somebody with a platform. Like we had 500,000 subscribers, but there's people with TV shows.
Yeah,
that get millions of views. So I don't know where this came from.
We're very grateful for where we are, but we're still technically rather niche.
Yeah, we're not the big boys. So then they then accused, they said that At Night Private Intelligence, who is, I guess, the group working with Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I don't know the exact details of that. I've had a few interactions with these guys on Twitter so far, but I don't know a ton of details about them. Anyway, they said that they charge a $500,000 retainer. Therefore, somebody must have paid them. Therefore, it was Brazen Cyrus. And I'm sitting here.
Now, my question is Queen Bee and her panel really this fucking stupid? Do they think that just because someone has an opinion against Chris and Katie, it means that they paid $500,000? Are they really this stupid, or is that kind of a rhetorical question? I think it's pretty rhetorical. Yeah, they are that stupid.
Here, like, listen, he's a member of a wealthy family. He makes music. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would just randomly drop $500,000 on some private intelligence company. So I asked him directly, and he said no.
And he really would have no reason to lie about that.
He would have no reason to lie about that. Also, it would be the kind of thing that is verifiable, because there.
Now, let me also point out, in my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, but in my opinion, the reason why they put the $500,000 on there is because they know nobody's going to pay it, and it's not a true legit company. It may be legit on paper, but they don't want people coming to them like, hey, can you look up this one and this one and this one and this one? They're looking for a show for a dog. That's why his name's on it. And they're not looking like SF. They're not trying to find the little bit, person. They want somebody that's going to be able to do a show for a dog. So if you have that much money, that $500,000, fuck yeah, they'll do some work for you. But other than that, it's nothing. And they don't want people to come to them because it's not a legit company. That's my personal opinion. I might be right. I might be wrong. I don't know. But that's how I feel. That's why the $500,000 is there. Because to be fair, somebody that does charge $500,000 is not going to put that on a website. They're going to keep it private until you contact them. Nobody with money. I mean, you ever notice like you see something on Facebook ad, or you see something, or someone's promoting services, they don't put the numbers on there. You have to like either Google it, try to find it, or you have to contact them and then they'll give you pricing. I just did this with a consulting company. She seemed really good. So I looked it up and there's no pricing. So then I went on Google and I found out what she charges. I'm like, that's why she doesn't have it listed on her site. So anybody that's asking for big money doesn't put it on their website. So right there just tells you how full of shit it is.
Would be a transaction somewhere. Queen Bee, I hate to tell you, but my sources are better. Because in this case, it's the guy you said paid. I don't know. It was a whole weird thing. And then at the very end, as I'm like hopping off. Now, keep in mind, I think 45 minutes in, I had said I can stay on for like 15, 20 more minutes to answer a couple of more questions, and then I really got to go. I ended up saying another like 30 or 40. And then as I'm getting ready to get off, Illuminati hops in, and then I like didn't even really acknowledge it. I just was getting off, so I got off. And then I keep the stream up just to kind of listen to see what happens afterwards. See, like, did the conversation shift at all? Are they going to address what I said? And instead, all I hear is this random lady, talking about how I'm scared of her and how, oh, as soon as I get in here, he logs off. So I pop back in to be like, I said I was getting off in 20 minutes, 40 minutes ago. And that's why I got off. I actually overstayed what I intended to. The reason I came here and didn't go on your show, which is clearly the reason you're upset, is that I don't respect you. Queen Bee here at least was, let me talk.
Billie Jo, before you leave, because I don't know if you're going to stick around, but before you leave, I do have some questions about your rant last night. Would you take a link? I'm going to be totally respectful, but I would love for you to take a link because I do have some questions. Now, phone calls from prison, she blocks out any information. She doesn't allow addresses or phone numbers. She's been like that as long as I can see. She doesn't allow anything, any kind of personal information to be aired because she knows she has 100,000 subscribers. She's very responsible. She's the one person that I don't think you have to worry about leaking any kind of private info. She carefully goes through all of her phone calls, all of her information, and makes sure that it's not leaked. There's a link. I would love for you to take it. And phone calls from prison usually does. She absolutely does. I have never heard her accidentally leak a phone number or a last name or anything. That's why I never understood how YouTube Streets ever got the information they got, because I'm like, they didn't get it from the phone calls. How did they find these people? How did they get the numbers? I have no idea how they got all these numbers. And going on Queen Bee's panel benefits your family? Please explain that one, Nana. Just curious. How does share benefit your family? Oh, what a lame-ass response.
A bit. I didn't appreciate the amount of lies and slander she allowed to be thrown after I got off the show, which is why I didn't hold back here. I don't.
Now, you know what? I'm going to call this out. So, BJ, you're saying, all right, I'll be the one that's honest. You're saying how it won't benefit your family. Your daughter murdered your grandchild. What should benefit? Should she be out of jail? I'm just curious. Should she be out of jail? Well, I guess criminals trust criminals. It makes perfect sense to me. So you trust a criminal, a drug dealer. That's who you trust. Okay, so be it. But just out of curiosity, I heard, I did not watch it, but I heard that you went off on BJ's parenting. You have 2 kids that murdered someone. Not one child that committed murder. You have 2. How are you calling anybody a bad mom? I'm just curious. How are you calling anybody a bad mom? Like, where do you get off telling anybody they're a bad mom when you have 2 kids in jail for murder? 2, not 1, 2. I just don't understand. I don't know if Queen Bee put you up to that, or then I heard you went off on Dietz and Jonesin. I don't get it. Why? Your daughter is the one that committed murder. Not Jonesin, not BJ, not Dietz. your daughter. So I'm just curious why you would go off on them. Like I said, I did not see it. So all I did was hear it secondhand. So I preface that with I didn't see it. But that's what I heard. I heard that you went off on Brittany, that you went off on Deets, but I don't know what was said, and Queen Bee took down the live, so you can't see it. But I don't know why you expect grace. I mean, for obvious reasons, don't get me wrong. Again, I didn't see it, so I don't know how to take it, but I know Queen Bee took it down. But I heard from multiple people you went off on BJ. Did anyone else, can anyone tell me like what exactly happened on it? What was said? No, BJ, Billie Jo. Oh, BJ, Brittany J. Yeah. Ryan Upchurch struck her, I think. Would that take the lab? Yeah, but she didn't have a strike. I haven't even played the calls yet. Run back to your drug dealer friends. That's perfectly okay, Nana's love. I was going to have a normal, intelligent conversation, but since you only trust drug addicts and felons, it speaks volumes. Just to be honest, it speaks volumes. She did call Brittany a bad mom and was participating in QB's nonsense. There you go. Yeah, I just don't understand. Brittany doesn't have anybody in jail. Brittany's kids didn't murder their own baby and, throw her in the trash. I want to know who the guy was that I'm going to play. That's kind of my curiosity. The 49-year-old man, her new boyfriend. But the other thing is, see, that's what someone else said. The Queen trying to hide that horrible display by Billie Jo. That's what I was told, but I don't know. I didn't say. I don't watch Queen Bee, so I can't confirm it. Yeah, I wouldn't say Brittany's a vile person. Only if you ask Granny, who's 10 times worse. But to say Brittany's a bad mom when you have 2 kids in prison for murder, one of them being their own child, I'm sorry. I'm not protecting you. I'm not protecting that scumbag you call your daughter. Sorry, not sorry. And I'm speaking as an addict. I've had my share. Don't mistake me. But I'm sorry, but I'm not giving grace to a child murderer. And on top of it, you, Billie Jo, you who I did protect for a very long time, then come to find out that you left Quentin with her because you were doing drugs yourself? Oh, okay. So you're just as guilty. Not just as guilty, but I was listening to Jonesin for a few minutes though, and I heard that what was it? I heard that Nunya came up and said that she doesn't fault Billie Jo. And I agreed with her back then. But now, once I knew that she was just on drugs, as I said yesterday, drugs doesn't give you an excuse. I've done much drugs and I never fucking killed anyone, especially never killed my own child. And I was on drugs when my kids were very, very little. And I never once killed anybody, including my own child. Never even had the thought. No, see, Marie, that's what I thought too. During trial, it came out from her own mouth because she was on drugs. That came out from her own mouth. She didn't kill anyone. But let me ask you a question, East Coast. If two adults go into a store and one's in the car and one gets out and shoots the person, they both go to jail, even though the guy was in the car. Same kind of thing. She left her alone. I know my daughter, and I know when I should or should not. You just know your own kid. No, you're wrong, Marie. That's my point. We found out you're wrong. She was on drugs during that time. She was on drugs probably during the trial. But yeah, she was on drugs after that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I didn't know that until recently. Yep, they still go to jail and they still get charged for it. Billie Jo was supposed to protect Quentin from his mom. That was her duty. Many adults failed Quentin. I agree. Well, I don't think she's on drugs now. But believe me, people in her line of work do lots of drugs. Lots. Her union, the plumbers and pipe fitters, which I know she's a welder, a pipe fitter, whatever. There's tons of drugs. Tons. That not sector, but that community, not YouTube community, like pipe fitters and welders, they have the highest rate of drug addicts and alcoholics of any field out there. That's a fact. I looked it up years ago. So, all right, let me finish this and then we'll move back to that. This is almost done for the part I'm playing.
Don't get it. I have never been involved in something like this. I guess Summer Wells was also kind of the same way because her parents went on a bunch of podcasts. I'm going to look into that at some point too. But yeah, I was disgusted with most of what I saw regarding this case. And I've gone through and I've watched some other things. One of the things that was this was thrown at me a number of times during that exact panel on Queen Bee's channel. Ready for this? They're telling me Bullhorn Betty called Sebastian defective. I'm like, man, that's pretty insulting. I have an autistic little brother. I don't consider him defective. Who could say such a thing? So I go and I actually watch.
Now, everybody listen to this carefully because this is super fucking important. And when he covered this, I was like, thank the Lord. I said this 1,000 times and nobody listened. Hey, Criminal Medicine. Now with him saying it, hopefully you guys will listen.
I watch the videos. And every single time, what Bullhorn Betty is actually saying is something along the lines of Katie sees her son as defective. In Bullhorn Betty's opinion, Katie thinks Sebastian is defective, and that's why she wanted Faith.
So it's not necessarily a quote, but it's an attribution of a mentality of a different person.
She's saying, I look at Katie, and it appears to me that Katie considers Sebastian defective. So somebody links me to another stream where somebody who goes by the username Nonsense is playing through an episode where you have a number of people actually saying as much. Like, yeah, she's pretty obviously saying here that this is not her opinion. And in fact, in one of the clips, she actually says, I don't know why people are taking this out of context and saying it's my opinion. I'm saying that it's my opinion Katie sees Sebastian as defective. I don't see Sebastian as defective. Like, that's what I get from her. That whole clip plays, and this Nonsense person, her people are like, well, yeah, she just said it again. She said he's defective. And I'm sitting here going, she's explained at length that it's not her opinion Sebastian is defective. In none of the clips did she say, in my opinion, Sebastian is defective. All she said over and over again is, I think Katie sees him as defective. And they're looking at this, they're watching it with the full context. I mean, plain as day, right in your face, going, well, clearly Bullhorn Betty is saying Sebastian's defective. I mean, I don't know if it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know if it's having an IQ that would keep meat safe. Like, I don't know what it is. What?
Sorry, I just wasn't ready for that one.
That was a new one for me.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that before.
The one I said last time, I got some pushback on. Thought that one was fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, I think cognitive dissonance is a great, like, armchair diagnosis of what that scenario is, but I think at the end of
Marie, you're a smart person, so let me explain this in case you missed it. He doesn't support anybody. He's just giving an opinion. Just because he's saying, just like I don't support Betty, but I've said that 1,000 times. Just because Betty is right about something doesn't mean that he supports her. So when I see you write, oh my gosh, he supports Betty, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that these people have an IQ of a fucking idiot and that they can't even support me with their fucking IQs. But what he is saying is that everybody twisted what Betty said to say that Betty said Sebastian is defective, and he's stating that's not what was said. So how it got twisted, that doesn't mean he supports Betty. That's just saying that Betty never said Sebastian was defective. Her exact words from multiple live streams was that she said, Katie thinks he's defective. There's a big difference.
end of the day, like this is a prime example of everybody hates current politics with good reason. But the funny bit is that when you go back in history, literally nothing has ever changed.
Yeah, it's always
politics have been like this since Rome. The fact of the matter is that in not just political spheres, in any topic under the sun, people will divide themselves upon opinion and then join a group that they align themselves with the most and defend that opinion to the end. Everybody loves to die on a hill for something. And it just so happens that this scenario is the tragic case of a young boy going missing, where the evidence points pretty strongly in one direction, in our opinion. But unfortunately, due to the nature of the world right now and the 24-hour news cycle and the fact that this got blown up for a bit in the past, and it's a very emotionally charged case based on who the victim is, it developed a big following, and then that following became fractured, that following became tribal, or those fractured followings became tribal, and now it's just
total tribalism.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it makes a lot of sense. It's unfortunate, but
and I want to be clear. I saw some not so great remarks from people on both sides of this topic, because again, it's gotten to a point where it's drama. It is, a tribal issue. It's like the closest thing I can compare a lot of the conversations I saw this with to is the Eagles Cowboys rivalry. Like if you go,
but Marie, open your ears. What was said, and I'll say it again, in Betty's opinion. Straight up Betty's opinion. She thinks Katie says so-and-so. That was what she said. He said it. I said it. We all said it. Betty never said Sebastian was defective. What she said was she believes that Katie thinks Katie thinks that she's defective, that he's defective. And I think that was about it. Am I right? Amber, that's about it, right? I just thought that was a really interesting piece from the two of them. And I think the other guy is really cute, but he's way too young. But I still think he's very cute. I'd like to see him with his hair down. I think that was it.
we have here's the facts of the case. We have a 15-year-old boy
Okay, that's the gist of it. All right, let's move on to Leilani's boyfriend, who gives a shout out to phone calls from prison. I laughed my ass off when it got to that part. Like I said, I was going to play this morning, and then Jones had played it. I was like, no. I think she just stole my content. All right. So this is Leilani and some guy, some 49-year-old guy. How do I know he's 49? They said it in the comments.
Can you hear me?
I can. I'm sorry. I don't know why it did that.
What happened? I know what I think that was. I think that was because I had another call on the other line and I swapped over.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Because I'm at work. I was mad busy. Well, I was going to ask you, so you get sentenced the 21st?
Yeah, on the 21st, and they are predicting that I'll be transferred within a week after that.
Oh, you don't go right away?
No, not exactly from the courthouse. I mean, if I do, it's because I'm high profile and they're like, oh, we got a place for her. But probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened as soon as I got back to the jail or within a few days.
I know, right? You probably just want to get the fuck out of there, right?
I do. I'm tired of being so.
Oh, that's what I was asking you. I asked you, so they made you go? It's like administrative?
Yeah, I have no choice. I've been on PC since the first day I stepped here.
So, like, you never run into any of the...
Whoops, sorry. I said that what's crazy about this entire thing is that Quentin looks just like her. I mean, the image is like uncanny about how exactly alike they look. So I don't know if when she killed him, she was trying to kill herself or what. But yeah, if you look at pictures of him, they are identical. Which how she can do it knowing that he looks just like her is crazy to me. It's just something that I realized yesterday.
The other prisoners ever? Like, they don't come up there? Do they yell shit at you and all that, like, crazy shit?
No, I mean, there's been one or two inmates who's been back here for like detox or watch that are.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. Actually, everybody's like, I don't believe that. I don't. They've been very friendly, I guess.
You know what's going to happen? So when you get to the regular, when you go to prison, you're going to be good. Like, you're going to be able to walk. They probably got a big yard. I know they do in Massachusetts. Even the girls have them. And then, like, do they have dog programs and shit there?
Yeah, and I heard about that. They call it like Hope Operation or something like that.
Yeah.
Look at that. They are spitting image of each other. Spitting image. How she can do it, I have no idea. But I mean, he looks identical. Identical. and how she could do that to him, knowing like you're looking right in a mirror. And I didn't realize how much alike they looked until yesterday. When I just did a comparison, I was like, wow. I don't know how she could do that to someone unless she was like hating herself. Cause yeah, he looks just like her. So okay, I'll go back to playing it. Bear with me. I just want to point that out.
There's so much shit you can do. Like I told you in the text or the email, whatever. I was like, you're gonna feel like you got out. Because when I went to state prison from the county my first time, it was like, wow, you feel. But then it closes in on you eventually. But you just got to get, like you said, you got to get into shit, like stop programs, like do whatever you can to keep busy while they're working on your appeal.
Yeah, see, I tried to do stuff here to stay busy, so I ended up reading a whole bunch of books because being in PC, I couldn't take all of these little programs they have.
Yeah, right.
So I was really proud of myself when.
As the general public who pays for these people to be in jail, do you feel sorry that she is not able to take classes? Because I sure as fuck don't. Maybe you shouldn't have killed your kid and you wouldn't be in this predicament.
And I was back here by myself, and I managed to get my GED without going to class. I was like, oh, if I can do that without going to class.
You got your GED there?
Yeah, I got it here.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Really?
Yeah, I got it here. Right here in the same cell that I'm in now. I wasn't able to go to class, so they just brought me material and said, study that. And then I took the test, and I think it was June of 2022.
Wow, that's impressive.
Guess what, Leilani? Your son will never get the chance to get his GED thanks to you. Your son will never get the chance to read a book thanks to you. Your son will never get a chance to experience life thanks to you. But people should be so happy that you earned your GED. You're a selfish loser. Just saying. Sorry, BJ, but it's true.
Yeah, I got my GED. I was very proud of that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, that's impressive, man. That is really.
And then they took pictures of me. They had me dressed out in a gown and cap and all that stuff.
Really?
Again, guess who's never going to wear a cap and gown? Guess who's never going to experience what it feels like to graduate from kindergarten? Yeah, your son that you murdered. That's who. Yeah, this was before trial, Noni. Her trial date was 11/23 or 11/24.
Really?
Yeah, they did. And then I didn't think about it, and I should have told them not to post it on the website, but they sure enough posted it on the website, and the media got a hold of it, and then, yeah.
So what? Like, that's good. What can they say about that? What bad can they say about a girl getting her GED? Like,
Exactly. I mean, it is good, but at the same time, I did not want to be in the news.
Yeah, it's too late for that, girl.
Now, also, let me also point out, there's a lot of cases out there that I do feel for the mom. There's a lot of cases out there, even if the mom killed the child, under drugs, whatever the situation, I can view it differently. The reason why I have so much angst towards her is simply because you were partying, worrying about Cher building her channel while you knew that you murdered your son. You acted like, how dare they convince me? I mean, how dare they convict me? How dare anybody think I heard that I hurt my poor child? Blah, blah, blah. That's my angst towards her. And Billie Jo, if you're listening, I really hope you are listening. Because your daughter is a piece of shit. I know she's your daughter. I'm a mother of 3, but your daughter is a piece of shit. And the faster you realize that and take accountability and you teach her about accountability, I may change my attitude. But she has no accountability. Y'all think she should have been found innocent. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was I was actually, when I went home last night, I was laying down, and I usually watch like YouTube and shit, and I'm like, let me Google me some Leilani. And I was watching like different clips and shit. But a lot of those interviews with the police, you can't even understand the shit. Like, you literally can't even understand it. Like,
yeah,
I can't make out. Some of the words I can make out, but mostly you can't. What were you gonna say?
Well, I said, yeah, because like when I was in there, and I mean, like I said, I was sitting there firsthand, and I was doing in the videos. But some of the times when I leaned over to my attorneys, I said, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
And let me also point out, it's just an opinion. So don't hate me if that covers anyone in here. But if you aren't smart enough to at least get your GED, forget graduating high school, but at least get your GED, you have no business having a child. A child that you have to teach, that you have to grow, that you have to, show the world. You had absolutely no fucking business having a child. And it's just fucking gross to me. Like a parent who doesn't even force their child to finish high school, the easiest time in the whole world. And if you're not going to finish, at least get your GED before you bring a fucking child into this world.
I didn't understand what I was saying. I was so emotional that my words were just like blending together.
Yeah, you were a fucking wreck. You should have been. Anybody would have been.
Yeah. Did you hear all those comments about she did not react? I was like, I didn't react the way. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what people were on. People were on that you just like had a.
And let me also say, I wasn't going to play the BJ call, but we will after this, just because she asked me not to. I'm a bitch like that.
You just had like a deadpan face. Like you didn't, when they gave the guilty verdict, you were like, you didn't even flinch. I was like, wow, that's nuts. But that doesn't mean that you don't care. To me, it doesn't.
No.
But people hump that shit.
I didn't flinch because for 2 years I prepared myself for this possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I did hold myself together for the most part, but towards the end of all of that, like the end of the verdicts being read out and everything, I did break down.
Yeah, you did. I saw you. They had the camera right on your face.
I know, it was right in front of me, but I was trying to hold it together. My attorneys and everybody was just like, don't react. So I did my best not to react. But I slipped up. I slipped up every now and then throughout that trial and was just had to wipe away tears or look away or something like that. It was just like, I don't know.
Of course, but that's stuff on the. But your judge seems cool too. She seems like a cool, like she's fair, like no.
Yeah, no, she is. She's fairly new. She's been, I think, appointed a superior judge for. Maybe she was appointed like a few months before I got arrested.
Oh, so this is
I'm her biggest case.
Yeah, this is a big case for her.
Yeah.
So the 21st, when is that? That's next week, dude.
Yeah, it's next week on Thursday.
Yeah, it is a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, I got 9 family members that are gonna be there to do character witnesses.
Well, that's good.
Well, they're not all family.
That's good.
Some are friends. So actually,
you're not gonna be.
Some are people I haven't talked to in years. Some of these people are just coming out the woodworks with like, I'll speak for her.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. And it's unfortunate, but you really can't even say anything because you just like.
There's no point.
You're maintaining your innocence, so. Huh?
Yeah. There's no point in me speaking up. It's like.
No, you can't. You can't. You really can't. You're in a catch-22.
Yeah, they said that I'll have the opportunity to testify at trial if I want. I mean, the sentencing if I want
Sentencing, yeah.
And I was just like, what's the point in it?
Right.
There's the same thing that's the same thought process I had during trial. If I got up and I spoke, these people would have just looked at me like I had 3 heads. There's no point in it.
Right. No, I know. I've been there before. I told you I went to trial before. Nothing like this, but It was just it was a much smaller case, but I've been there.
And I
No,
wasn't
I get
doing the DA's job for him. I just wasn't doing
Yeah.
it.
Well, so anyways,
Yeah.
what do you need while you're there the next week? Nothing?
No, I got what I need for my last week here. That's why I tell everyone if they want to, even my mom, I told her not to send me nothing. So like when I get up the road though, oh yeah, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need help getting started off. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna need clothes like sweatsuits and shit like that, and like
She got involved with Cher very quickly because remember, Cher was putting up a sign. I'm sorry, not Cher. Leilani and what's her name and BJ were putting up a sign stating how you should sub to Cher's channel. Remember that? Yeah, it was pretty quick. And let me also state again, personal opinion. But as a parent, we have to take some sort of responsibility for our kids. Now, Dayton, I'll use Dayton as an example. Dayton is an addict. It's not Dayton's fault he's a fucking addict. It's mine and Brad's fault that Dayton's an addict. He got the gene. I mean, he's not a drug addict, but still an addict. And that is our fault. There's nothing we can do to change it because we're both addicts. So our minds are chemically imbalanced. Yeah, we have a chemical imbalance. We passed it down to Dayton's got a chemical imbalance. Phoenix and Sage, thankfully, don't have a chemical imbalance, and they're not addicts in any which way, shape, or form. But do I feel responsible for Dayton being an addict? Fuck yeah, I do. Do I feel responsible when my kids make a mistake? Absolutely, I do. Most parents should. You have to guide them and you have to understand them and you have to listen to them. And if you're fucked up, well, how are you going to raise a kid that's not fucked up? So for Billie Jo to act like she's so innocent, no, you're not. Your daughter was a high school dropout. Your son was in prison. I'm not saying being a parent is easy. Fuck, I've raised 3. It's not easy. But you absolutely need to take responsibility for your children. I never understood why parents allow their kids to drop out of high school. You fucking beat their ass and make them finish. It's the easiest time of their life. So I just don't understand how Billie Jo takes absolutely no responsibility. No bullshit. You have to take responsibility.
sneakers. So it's gonna be a whole different world for you. You're gonna be like, wow.
See, one of the officers here, she recently became a sergeant, and I've known her since I got here. And she used to work at the Pulaski unit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was like, well, give me the rundown because this is new. The only thing I've ever been involved in when it comes to prison was when I was approved to visit my brother.
Yeah. Right.
She gave me the rundown or whatever, and she's like, well, you won't have to wear that all the time. So you get sweats, and I was like, do I have to get tube socks? I really hate tube socks.
Cut them. You can cut. Don't make it nice.
She said, no, I can have ankle socks and stuff like that. I said, well, I know I'm going to be spending all my money when I get there.
Well,
what bothered me listening to this, now I can say as someone who's done 30 days in county, anyone that was being transferred to prison couldn't wait to get there because it was like so much better than county jail. Thankfully, I don't know, but so I understand what she's talking about now. But what bothered me is never once in any of these conversations did she say, I can't believe I did this to myself. I can't believe, I took it that far. I was high. This is, I'm a poster child for never wanting to do drugs again, for somebody else not wanting to do drugs again. I want to do better. I want to make something of, the next 40 years of life that I wanted to hear something like that. Nothing. She's all like, it doesn't matter. I just can't wait to get it's disgusting. And I really wanted so badly to hear something like, I'm going to take the next 40 years that I have in prison and maybe I can, reform someone. Maybe I can stop someone else from doing this. Something. Nothing.
You'll see when you get there. And you don't know what they use to communicate. You don't know if it's global Telink or Securus or whatever.
No,
You have no idea.
I have no idea. I know that what they use.
Wait,
here.
the Polanski unit.
It's the Pulaski unit. It's the one that's
Hold on a second.
around Macon.
I mean, don't hold on, but I'm googling something. Hold on.
No, I got you.
Georgia. Let's see here. Polanski State. Oh, it's Polanski State Prison.
Mhm.
Adult
That's the one.
females. Oh, it's fairly new. They just built it in '94. That's crazy. I mean, that's old to you, but.
Oh, that's not that old. It's only 5 years older than me.
What year were you born?
99.
Holy shit, girl. Jesus.
I barely made it to being the last of the 90s babies. All the books
Guess
except for
so.
the one. Yes, ma'am. Hold on a second. The one you see at the bottom on the floor where the top is open. That's the only one I'm reading. The only
There
one
are
that I'm reading.
60 seconds remaining.
I got
Contact.
a minute left on the phone, and then I'll be able to get the book card.
All right. I was just looking this shit up now, but when are you gonna call me back? Like a couple days, tomorrow? What's up? Oh, it's Securus. It is Securus.
Ooh, there you go. That's glad to know that. I can tell Mom to go ahead and get that stuff downloaded too. I can call back whenever. So I mean, if you want me to call back tomorrow, I'll call back tomorrow.
You can call back whenever your little heart desires.
I can tell you Northern, but we got two very different accents.
Yeah, I know. Can you call back now?
After I pick the book card,
There are
book card, I can call
15
back.
seconds remaining.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, I'll
Go
call
ahead.
back in. All right.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Did you get your books?
I did. Yeah, just four books. I'll probably be done with by what's today? I'll probably be done with them by Sunday or Monday.
You said I did.
I did. I read
I
all
did. You
What kind of work do
definitely
you
have that accent, though.
do? I really?
Hold on, you're gonna switch over to my speakers in my truck.
Okay.
Hold on. If it hangs up, call me.
All right.
Hello?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Where are you from? Like, where are you? Are you from anywhere near Atlanta?
Savannah is about 2.5.
Are you from
3 hours.
Savannah?
Yeah. Savannah's like 2.5, 3 hours from Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So you never experienced the cold weather then, or the snow, or none of that?
So this loser didn't even know where she was from, but he had no problem writing her? Like, but you didn't even know anything about her? Are you that desperate for a girlfriend?
See, I've only experienced snow, like actual snow, like one time, and that was like, I don't know, 2018 or 2019, when it snowed here in Georgia for like a week.
Oh.
Yeah, we
How
had,
long have you? Oh, I remember that.
yeah,
I remember.
it was
Yeah.
like, it was like I don't know, I think we got like a foot of snow, not even a foot of
Yeah.
snow. That was it.
Yes, I remember that. That was wild, right?
It was. I was like, I've lived here my whole life, and I've never seen, I mean,
So-
I've seen frost, but I've never seen snow.
So that's like in November, me seeing a 70-degree day. That's the same difference.
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
phenomenon,
not
I
used
guess
to
you
that.
could say. It's unusual.
Yeah, like I'm freezing right now, and it's probably how hot is it there right now?
I think my mom said
But
that
you don't.
no, but when I speak to Mom, she kind of tells me about what's going on and how's the day.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. She said that it was like in the high 70s, so it feels good outside.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not sweltering.
Mm-mm.
So you haven't seen you haven't been outside, like only the court, huh?
No, the only time I've been outside is when I get transported to the courthouse.
They don't give you outdoor rec in Georgia?
They do have it, but with people in medical don't get it, and that's where they house me at, because I guess they just don't have anywhere for a high-profile PC, so they put me here. I don't get rec. actually. So I wrote the sheriff at the beginning of. When did I write the sheriff? It was January last year. The beginning of this year. Yeah, I wrote at the beginning of this year, and I managed to get people in medical who are in PC. Right.
Yeah.
But the right time here, where they take us at to have it once a week.
What is it?
I wrote him to see if we could get rec time and like TV time.
Oh, rec time, yeah.
Yeah, and TV time.
Yeah, you need to get your rec. Yeah, right?
Yeah, but what he gave us, he compromised. He said, well, I can give it to you once a week for like 2 hours. I was like, okay. Well,
yeah, that's cool.
That's better than nothing. But let me tell you, the rec area they take us to is literally a concrete box.
Ah, really?
Yeah, concrete ceiling, concrete walls. The windows are the windows are so high up I couldn't reach it if I.
That was his fucking compromise.
Yeah, so it's not even being outside. It's just an area with a hoop and a ball.
Oh yeah, damn man, you're almost there though. You're almost there. I wish you went home, but I mean, you're going to a better place.
Yeah, I tell people that when they come here, they're like, I can't believe I'm here. I don't want to go up the road. I'm like, let me tell you something. I said, whether you go up the road or you go home, you're doing better than you're doing here.
Your friend that's there with you, she's gonna be sad when you leave, bro.
She is gonna be sad when I leave. She's already like, I'm gonna miss you.
Of course she is.
It's been
Hold on 1 second, I got an order.
Okay.
I'm at the donut place. Hold on.
You're good.
Thank you for choosing Dunkin'. What can I get for you?
Can I have an extra large hot with caramel and cream?
Extra large cream and caramel. Anything else?
A sourdough sandwich.
Sourdough breakfast sandwich?
Yeah. That's all.
That's all?
Yep, thank you.
All right, so
all right, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
so
good.
sorry.
You're good. That sounded good, but you're good. You're better. Like, my mom, she'll be on a video visit with me, and she'll be sitting there eating, like, fried chicken or something. And I'm like, Mom.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, Mom, seriously? She said, you want some? I'm like, you know what?
So when the next time you can do a video? I don't have to get cleared or anything for that. I can't do that out here with my friends. They don't even let me go on video with them.
No, see, here, if you get approved for the messaging and stuff like that, you're approved for the video.
What?
Mhm.
It's crazy. Really?
Yeah, just like this might blow your mind too. When
Thank you.
When I was 18 and I got approved for visiting my brother in prison, I wasn't just approved to visit him in that prison. I could visit anybody in any prison in the state of Georgia.
So you're telling me all that information I put in? Thank you. You gave me my card back, right? So you're telling me that all that information that I had to do when I first messaged you, I had to give him my license number. I had to take a picture of I think I had to take a picture of yeah, I did. I had to show him my license, right?
Mhm.
And then I had to give him my social. I had to tell him everything, like I was trying to visit you. So you're telling me that if they cleared me to message you, so they can make people not message you, like if you have a record out there, you can't message people.
So I don't know what the requirements or the disqualifications are, but anybody who's tried to message me or anything they've all been approved. My mom, and you probably heard this on Court TV too. They said that she has a record as long as the Mississippi River. She does. They weren't lying. It is long. There's drugs. There's
But she can still get in.
And she can still visit me, and she was even approved for the in-person visitation at the prisons.
That's cool.
Like I said, she has stuff. I don't know all of her charges, but I know a good bit of them. A lot of it has to do with drugs.
You know what I'm surprised about?
What's that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
They're putting all these prisoners. They got this channel called Phone Calls from Prison on YouTube.
Mhm.
They're putting all the high-profile cases. They're putting on They're doing FOIA requests, getting all the phone calls, all the messages, and they're putting them on, like putting people on blast. But it's.
I would love to be a fly on the wall when he heard that his call was on, and his 2 calls were on phone calls from prison. I laughed my ass off yesterday when I heard him say that.
It's mostly in Florida. I don't know if Georgia would release them, but if they do, we're fucked, I guess. Well, not really. I mean, I'm not fucked, but whatever. They'll blast it. They'll put it on.
Georgia is particular. Some laws are
Yeah.
okay. So Florida, their laws are very lenient. I mean, they have.
There is nothing about Florida laws that are lenient. Nothing. They have some of the strictest policies in all of the country.
Mhm.
Shops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Room
Does
shops,
Georgia
their
got the
water
death?
shops.
Oh, you know what I wanted to tell you?
What's that?
There's another girl right now on trial for murder of her kid, of her son, I think. Her name is Chloe. Chloe, hold on, I'll look it up. CHLOE.
I know Florida's very particular with their laws. They're very lenient. Georgia is a little bit more stern.
Her name is Chloe Driver, and she's a cult. They're saying she was with a cult, and yeah, they're saying she killed her baby. She's literally on trial, like you were right now. Like if I press on.
Is it in Georgia?
Yeah, it's Georgia, but I don't know what fucking county it is. Hold on, let me see. I don't want to press on anything and then lose you.
All right, you're fine. If it was in Chatham County, I would have met the girl. She would have been back here with us.
It's not Chatham County. It's like some. Hold on, I'm gonna press on. Still there?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Still there?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Chloe Driver. Chloe Driver knew what she was doing and planned to kill her 13-month-old baby because she wanted more attention from her co-leader boyfriend. The defense says that she was insane at the time, but they're not saying they're not saying where it is. I know it's Georgia.
That is crazy.
It's definitely not Chatham.
No, if it was, she would have been back here with me, like, right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. People are insane.
Exactly your age.
My
young.
age?
She's probably your age. Yeah, she looks about your age. Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Hold on.
So you might run into her.
Yeah, if she gets sentenced, which she probably will.
Yeah, she's gonna come to that jail with you, where you're going, that prison.
Yeah, it's like the Polanski unit is what they call the female intake unit. Every female in Georgia.
Oh, so you're not gonna stay there?
No, so I can stay there. It depends on the administration there, but they say most people do stay there as long as they're doing well. And if they're not doing well, they get transferred to the Atlanta state prison.
Oh, so you'd have to like get in trouble and shit to get shipped out of there?
Either you have to not be doing well or struggling, or request to be moved. And normally, if you request it, they normally do it. At least that's what I was told by the counselor.
So you're gonna try to stay there?
I am. It's closer to my family. I'm gonna try to stay there.
So tell your mom to start looking at the Securus app. It's Securus. Can you see our old messages?
I can see what you have messaged me. I can't see what I responded.
So
And by the way, that last message last night had me rolling.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
My age?
No, the last part had me rolling.
Oh, I said lock into that?
Nah, yeah, you were like, I could fuck you like any guy your age. I was like, oh my God, I started rolling.
I got you with that one, huh?
Yeah, I was so caught off guard. I had to read it twice. I said, wait a minute.
No, for real. I'm 49 years old, but I don't, sometimes my body feels like it, but when I tell people that, like when the only people are like, no, you're not. I mean, I feel it mentally, but I don't feel it in my body.
My brother has been in prison since, I think it was 2010 when he got arrested. It was 2012 when he got sentenced, and he was charged.
What did he get arrested for?
Murder.
Jesus.
He was 16.
Really?
Yeah, he was 16. It was accidental. You can probably search it up. I'll give you his name later on. But he was 16.
There are 60 seconds remaining.
What the man?
I know. He was 16, and by
Trying
the
to
time
talk to you.
I know. By the time he was 17, he got sentenced. They charged him as an adult. Since he testified against the other people, he got I think it was life, served 22, and then the rest of his life would be on parole. So he gets out in 2032. But what I'm getting at is that since he was in prison for so long, they say prison preserves you. This man is about to be 31, and he looks like he's 20.
Yep.
I'm just like, bro.
How much are these calls?
$3.60.
Want to call me back?
There are 15 seconds remaining.
I can call you tomorrow. I still got to take a shower.
Go take a shower and call me tomorrow.
Okay, I'll get a tablet though.
But it was good to talk to you.
It was good to talk to you too.
What do you mean? You can. I'm sorry, I'm stuffing my face. You can get a tablet and talk on it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you.
And that is Leilani's boyfriend. The Atlanta airport, Atlanta traffic, all of it is pure hell. I totally agree with that. But let me just explain real quick. I got to cover this case because I don't know why I haven't yet. I've been saying I'm going to do it for years. There was this guy that I met in prison. I wasn't in prison. My ex, the first love of my life, had to do 17 years. He was sent to Sing Sing. And Sing Sing is no joke. It is like one of the toughest prisons in New York. His cellmate, right around the time I was 20, 21, somewhere around there, he got sent off when I was 17. And he said to me, I have a new cellmate. You probably know him. Turns out his cellmate was this kid, Sean, who murdered a father of his friend that was allegedly molesting her and the sister. So Sean in 9th grade decided to kill him. And he did. And he got caught. And he was sentenced to 25 to life in Sing Sing. And I remember, and we kept in touch for years. And I remember him saying, I will make something to make this worthwhile. And he was literally gone for 20 years. I think he got out a little early. Lou had got out before him. So I lost touch with him once Lou got out. And I know Sean was still in there. Well, this is Sean. This article was 2016 and he's even higher now. But not only did he make something of himself, he really made something of himself. They were trying to cut out, and if you want to look up his case, it was Cheryl Pearson in Selden, Long Island, or Selden, New York. But they wanted to end education in Sing Sing, I think in all New York prisons, and he single-handedly saved it. They not only, once he got out, he actually became the president of this company through Sing Sing, and that's what he does now. He became the program's director, which he considered his opportunity to give back to the program a second chance.
Something unusual is happening here. I wanted to understand Sing Sing's secret to preventing prisoners from being sent up the river again after their release. So I arranged a visit with Sean Pica, who spent many years here. He's a minority in this maximum security prison, where 9 out of 10 inmates are Black or Hispanic.
When I was 16, lived in a good neighborhood, good family, was in school, had never been in trouble before, and one of my classmates in school told me that her father was doing things that he shouldn't be doing to her, and we planned his death. And in the back of my mind, I knew what I was doing was wrong. I knew that I was in way over my head, but I justified it by saying, well, I'm doing the wrong thing for the right reason. And the next thing you know, I'm sitting in county jail and I killed somebody. I found myself in a prison facing a 24-year sentence. I was 16 years old. I weighed 120 pounds. I wasn't shaving yet. So I really thought my life was over. I remember getting to Sing Sing, and I got assigned to A block, which is the largest cell block in the country. And it was so brutally hot that the condensation would build during the day, and then as it cooled at night, it would drip back on you. And I remember as I set up my bunk saying, hey, it can't get any worse, right? And then that night, as I was getting ready for bed, the water started dripping back down on me. And I said, wow, it definitely can get worse. I couldn't imagine surviving that for 24 years, to be honest with you. It is always ironic to me that you do not know what you have until you've lost it. And sitting in the largest cell block in the country with hundreds of other men in this tiny, tiny cell, you realize how good life was. And sometimes you realize as that's happening, you might never even taste that again. But
I can also say firsthand, the odds of two people being in Sing Sing, which is upstate New York, come from the same town is kind of wild. Like Lou came from Selden and Ronkonkoma, but the fact that they put them together, they were instantly friends.
Sing Sing was a different place for me. It was a college behind those walls. And so many times as I trudged down the cell block and got down to the school building, I felt free in there.
What do we mean by urbanization?
I'd only gone to the 9th grade. So the chance to go to college and to get a degree was very, very positive. But that's where I really thought that story was ending. And I went home about 18 months later. And when I went home, I didn't envision myself as being still involved with the college program. But the superintendent had asked if I would consider staying on as the director. And it was an opportunity to not just be involved, but to be involved with a program that really gave me a second chance. Of course, I had been earning 18 cents an hour for a long time. So I let him know we needed to renegotiate my salary like immediately.
So when I hear about people going to jail, you know, I always think of him because I mean, I saw him and Lou. I used to go visit at least once a year for many, many years. I mean, Lou got out I was married, divorced. I was in my 30s. But when he got out, I said, what's happening with Sean? And he said, Sean's still in there. He still has a couple of years left. But once they were going to wipe out all the college programs, and he is such a nice guy. I mean, like, I remember so many times going to visit them. He really is a nice guy. That's when you didn't have video. You actually, you know, saw them, sat there. And Lou used to tell me, bring someone for Sean so, you know, we can all sit together. So that's what I did multiple years in a row. And the fact that he really took 24 years and he did 23 out of 24 and then completely turned his life around and now saved the colleges in New York. And he's like the president. This was in 2016, but now he's like the president of the whole thing. Most people are not going to do that. But the fact that you can do that and that you don't have to just sit there and waste your life away, you can actually do something. I've always thought of him when I hear prisoners talk otherwise. So when I hear her acting all giddy and, you know, like, dude, I just want to hear you say, yeah, I'm going to make it worthwhile. I'm going to do something positive. I'm going to make something happen of my life. You know, I'm going to make this all worthwhile. And he did say that literally, probably 10 years into his sentence. He was like, I'm going to, I don't know how, who, what, when, where, why, or how, but I am going to make a difference. I am not going to let the next, 30 years of my life be pissed away in jail for nothing. And, he did earn his degree. I think he got a double degree, but I'm not positive. He earned his degree. He, did what he said he was going to do. He was hard, though. Sing Sing is no joke. It is one of New York's hardest prisons. Like, it's bad. And I remember when Lou first got out, I took him around Long Island to show him how, Suffolk County's changed. He was away for 17 years. And when I said to him, I was like, what's wrong with you? What happens? He's like, Laura, I just spent 17 fucking years in prison. What do you think's happened? And he's never been the same. I still talk to him periodically on Facebook, but he's just not the same. And I don't even want to know what actually happened. And he was a fighter, so I don't think anything like that happened. But to see Sean do so well is just phenomenal, and it's odd, and I know it's rare, but I think it's fucking fantastic. So that's why I would love to see Leilani say something like, I'm going to make this worthwhile. I'm going to make this, a positive thing. I'm going to get my college degrees. It's just something. And she doesn't say anything. And it's just disgusting how she just doesn't ever say anything. But his case is wild. Someone said there were Lifetime movies. I think there was a few movies about it, but it's Cheryl Pearson case, Selden, New York. Crazy. But she's living a good life. She's married with children. I don't think she still lives in New York. I think she moved. All right. So I just want to throw that out there. All right. So do we want to say, I've been on 2 hours. Do we want to hear Leilani and BJ call? There was a third call. I don't know what happened to it. It was taken down. Maybe that's the one that gave an address, because there definitely were 3 calls. And I listened to one of them. And then I listened to the next one and it was gone. I'm like, holy shit, what happened to that call? Maybe that one had the address. I don't know. But let me know if you guys want to hear the Leilani mom call. Yes, awesome new candles. I'm working on the special. I'll have it done tonight. While I'm waiting for you guys to answer, though, on a happy note. So I had my mammogram done on Monday, and it's now Wednesday, and they still haven't called me. So that's a good thing. Last time they called me in 2 days, said I need to come in for a biogram. So I'm kind of like stressing today. So I'm like, let me get through today. Come on, guys. I need some answers. Do you want me to play the call? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, I'm going to play it, and if views drop dramatically, I'll stop. No. Yeah, I'm kind of happy. I'm like, woohoo, they haven't called yet. I'm telling you, I experienced stress like I've never had before. His crime in prison is looked at as favorable. Yeah, everyone in Sing Sing is there for murder. Thank you, Sly. All right. This is Billie Jo's call.
What? For who?
Oh, for one of the.
Leilani Simon is the mother of 20-month-old Quentin Simon, who went missing and was later found deceased in October of 2022. Quentin was reported missing from their home in Savannah, Georgia, and after an extensive investigation, his remains were discovered in a landfill. Leilani was subsequently arrested and charged with his murder. Acquaintances, family members, authorities, and Quentin's babysitter testified during Leilani's 9-day trial. She was found guilty in October of 2024 and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years. The calls in this video were made during her trial.
Are you surprised that none of our phone calls are being used in the trial?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Because they didn't get what they wanted at the phone call. So that's why. My attorney said that he was actually very surprised. He said that obviously he didn't hear anything about anything in phone calls being relevant to the state, but he said that He said that most people in my situation are not able to limit what they say on the phone.
I don't feel like we have.
I don't feel like we have either. We just spoke what was on our mind and how we felt and all this type of stuff. And I guess it just wasn't what the PA was hoping for. It shows a concerned, worried, and grieving mother and grandmother, and that's not what he wanted.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I'm about to be going to rec time in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got it arranged with people. Like, I told them weeks, like, I mean, probably about a month before trial that, hey, when trial starts, I'm going to be here for my rec time on Friday. Can we try to do it on the weekends? You know, and then we finally got it arranged that they come and get me on Sundays, which gives me a little bit of normalcy. You know, I can go in there and watch some TV, and it helps get my mind off of stuff, you know.
Oh, I can see now it's quite a little fun.
I know.
And that's just a little fun.
I know, and I do my best not to think about it on the weekends because it's on my mind from, I mean, the time that I wake up on the weekdays to the time that I go to bed and then the time I wake up again. And on the weekends, if I don't get my mind off of it, I'm going to drive myself crazy. This morning, before breakfast.
Wait, this is the one I played the other day, right? Yeah, there's only 2 on the website. Is there another one missing somewhere? Because these are the only 2 that's on there. Oh, wait, what was that? Yeah. There's only 2. That's it. She removed the other one. So I don't know if that one had the address or what. I mean, I'll play it again if people haven't heard it. But yeah, it's the one I played the other day.
Before breakfast even came, I woke up with the thoughts of everything already on my mind. And I was just like, oh my God, you know? We'll see.
Everything in my body hurts. So I'm talking about psychiatrist again tomorrow.
I know the feeling. Just like I know every time I eat, I feel nauseous, like I'm on the verge of throwing up. Especially when I'm at court. Which is why you probably noticed it, but my attorney brings me little snacks here and there because they told him that I wasn't eating, and he didn't like that.
Who told him to do it?
The officers told my attorneys that I wasn't really eating or whatever. So now, that's why he gives me little snacks here and there. Like he'll bring me something like a cough drop or a mint or something to suck on, or a piece of candy or a cracker or 2 or something throughout the day. Because he didn't like the fact that I wasn't eating. I was like, well, I mean, like, I was like, it's not that I don't want to eat. Don't get me wrong. I feel nauseous. Yeah. So yeah. DA got mad at me.
Well, so I was saying that where because you were talking to your attorney and he tried to make it out to be like you were.
Like I was mouthing to the witness.
Yeah.
That's what he tried to make it out to be like, but I wasn't. But he got mad at me because he didn't like.
Okay, off the record, someone just reminded me of something, and then I just got a response. For those of you that followed Making a Murderer, I know some of you may know who Sean Atwood is, but if you followed Making a Murderer, followed me during Making a Murderer, you know that me and Sean were tight, and he just started a channel. Now he's got like almost 1 million or whatever. But Sean Atwood is not allowed back in the United States, and it was all because of drug dealing. But we never knew the full extent. He never really discussed the full extent of it. And today I saw he posted something about HBO special is now #1. So if you guys have HBO Max, if you're a Patreon, I'm going to record it and upload it if I can find it, other than Max. But if you do have HBO Max, the special called Sons of Ecstasy is his story. And it is phenomenal. I had no idea that he was involved with the Gambino crime family. I mean, he said that his case was unreal, but I never knew the extent of it until I started watching Sons of XC on HBO. Highly recommend. So I had left a message for him. I was like, and just to think, you started with Steven and Brandon. And he wrote back and he was just like, haha, remember those days? Yeah, I do. So for anyone that watched Making a Murderer, you know who Sean is. He was the English bald guy. The show Sons of XC is phenomenal. I haven't watched all of it yet, but I had no idea it was that intense. He was like a kingpin of XC dealing. Wild story. But it's on HBO Max. So I just want to point that out.
Like what I said, or I guess, or I don't know. I think he really just didn't like the fact that the court PD picked it up. But I was like, I have all rights to communicate my observations and opinions to my attorneys. It's not like I mouthed it to the jury or that I mouthed it to the witness. No, I leaned over to my attorneys and whispered to them, which is what I was told to do, to either write it down or whisper to them. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, this is the same one I played the other day. There's no point in me playing it again. I already played it. But if someone had the new one, that would be great. But if she took it down, yeah, I don't have it. But yeah, I just played this the other day. It's the exact same one. This is no point. I'll wait for the other one to get redacted and come back. Plus, I've been on over 2 hours. I'm tired. I need to do the I need to do the candle special. And you guys need to order some candles. I haven't gotten an order in like 2 days, which is like shocking. That's like a first. And I'm in the process of setting up my Go Imagine page. So that I have to do today as well. I got to finish. I hate setting stuff up. It's like setting up Etsy. It's a fucking pain in the ass. So, but I'm going to be setting that up today and finishing that. And make sure you guys order some candles. Like I said, I'm going to have a special. We're going to talk about it tonight. Tonight's stream is just going to be just chill, candles, maybe some crime. Maybe I'll talk about Cheryl Pearson's case. No, that's actually not true. He's not guilty. He's innocent. I have followed that case from day one. I have read every single piece of paper on that case. I have read every single report on that case. I have read every single policeman on that case. He is 100% innocent. Him and Brandon are 100% innocent. No, I don't, Criminal Med. They just say they'll call you if anything is wrong. I didn't expect anything to be wrong, though. But criminal profile is wrong. Every single report on that case screams setup. There were too many lies. And the one piece of it that you just can't get away from, well, Candace Owens picked out certain things, and she was wrong because she left out a lot of stuff. But the biggest thing that I have always known they were innocent was, and I have this on one of my videos, there is a police report, an absolute police report that states the car was in police custody before Avery was ever even arrested. There's proof of that. And the cops say, oh, that was an error. No, it wasn't, you fucking dumbasses. That was no error. That was proof right there that you had the car and that it was a setup. And Candace Owens seems to have left that out of her series. Yeah, they are absolutely not guilty. It was a total setup. Is Stephen Avery guilty of being a piece of shit? 100%. Is Brendan Dassey guilty of being an idiot? 100%. Is Stephen Avery guilty of being a womanizer who's an abuser, who comes from an abusive family? 100%. Doesn't mean he's guilty of murder. And there were too many pieces of evidence that point otherwise. So is Stephen Avery guilty of murder? Absolutely not. There was not one shred of DNA in his room that he allegedly raped her and killed her. Not one hair, not one anything. The fact that 100 FBI agents couldn't find the key, and then all of a sudden Manitowoc cops found the key, totally suspicious. And it's bullshit. They were totally set up. And unfortunately, they'll probably never see the light of day. The cops were dirty as fuck. Too many things. But the key thing, like the key piece of evidence that proves to me they're innocent is the fact that the cops said, wrote on a piece of paper that they had the car in custody. And that right there is indisputable. I don't care what they say. There was nothing in the garage, nothing in the home. I mean, they checked everything. They also lied about the house smelling like bleach, which was a lie. Anybody that saw that house knew that it was a wreck. Even when they found the key, the place was a wreck. Kratz was a liar. They were all liars. Now, do I think that everybody was in on it? Absolutely not. People want to say like, oh, well, there were 100 people involved. No, most people did not know it was a setup. 99% of that police force did not know it was a setup. 99% of that police force were 100% innocent. But there were a few that were not. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 people knew that it wasn't a setup. I mean, knew that it was a setup. Maybe 3. Most definitely 2. But just everything about it. His fingerprints that didn't exist. But I just want to know how you kill someone and rape someone and not find 1 ounce of DNA or a hair. Not even a single hair of hers was found. Not in the garage, not in the house, and not in his room, not in the vacuum, nothing. Not a single fucking piece of hair. And then they allegedly dragged her from the garage to the bedroom. I mean, the bedroom to the garage. Yeah, okay. Same cops did something similar to a distant friend. Yeah, it was bad. So I absolutely do not think that they're guilty. And like I said, what's her name left out a lot of stuff. She said some stuff, but she left out a lot of stuff. The vials of blood, the needle poke, no, that was nothing. That I don't believe that was anything. I believe that was totally the way it should be. They got off on that tangent, but I don't think the vial of blood meant anything. I know they tried to say it did, but I don't think it did. There was much stronger evidence that didn't equate. Like, I remember David, I forgot his last name, but he did the whole Q-tip. Sean Atwood did it too. The whole Q-tip thing with the blood in the car. And many, many experts said that the blood wouldn't be that color. When blood hits the air, it changes color. And that blood was very red. And people tested cutting themselves, putting it on the dashboard. It turns purple. It doesn't stay red. It turns dark. And that blood was red for a long time. Like by the time they found it, it was still red. It made no sense. And yeah, they wanted Stephen gone. Absolutely. And Brendan was just a, like the, nail in the coffin. But without Brendan's testimony, they wouldn't have anything. Now, do I believe Brendan saw something? Absolutely. Do I think Brendan faked it with his cousin? Absolutely not. But I don't think it was Steven that was involved. And you can't deny all the porn that was found on Bobby's computer. You can't deny that either. I mean, there's so much to it. It's undeniable. But I mean, I don't think the cops did it or anything. I do believe that Scott and Bobby and their friend Mike O are the actual killers. So I do believe Brendan saw something. He just wasn't ratting out his own brother. And I think they probably threatened his life. Yes, Mike O and Bobby. And possibly Scott. But definitely Bobby and Mike O. Mike O was Bobby's best friend. Now, it's been a couple of years since I really thought about it, but going back to way back when, there was a whole theory, the whole reasons of why they did it. Oh, absolutely, Bobby. Bobby was a big part of this because he was Kratz's, eyewitness. He was Kratz's, head guy. And it turns out that he lied on the stand. He's a fraud. He lied about his timing. He lied about a lot of things. And there were people that came up after that said, that he was involved. And then Mike O and him stopped being friends for some reason when they were so tight and they were best friends. But yeah, Steven was definitely set up. And it's sad that he'll probably never see the light of day. His mom already died when he was in prison. I'm sure his dad will too. His brother's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. I personally, I don't like any of them. I think the whole Avery family is a bunch of total lowlifes, but that doesn't mean he's guilty of murder. I mean, that's one family I never wanted to fuck with. They're like way too low life for me, but he still doesn't mean he's guilty. And that's another thing. Candace was going on about all his crimes. He had bullshit crimes. He didn't even have a major crime. He had a bullshit crimes. Stealing beer from a bar. It's just stupid shit. I just think it's sad what happened. But they got the wrong people in prison. But they'll never let him out. Or he'll be like 90 by the time he gets out. And that's sad. Yes. That's the night before he called that in at the same time that it's on the police record. And it shows the date that was before Avery, the car was found. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me go to oldest. Here it is. All right. Here's the video. It's only 2 minutes. There's another one, but that one I found easy. But yeah, they had him on a police record on November 3rd that he was suspect in murder. They blew it off as, oh, it was a typo. That wasn't a typo. That was called a setup. And there's another one about the car, but I think that's in the middle of like another video. So it's not that easy to find. But yeah. It's fucked up. November 3rd. Oh. November 3rd. They have him as a suspect. For homicide, non-negligent homicide on November 3rd. They didn't even report her missing till November 3rd. So how's that even possible? How did they make him a suspect for non-negligent homicide? Make it make sense. But Candace happened to leave that part out of her little movie. Yeah, they didn't find the key for Habak's car until the 8th of November. But yet he was already a suspect on the 3rd. Yo, okay. I'm telling you, I have everything. But there is one about the car. I just don't know where it is. God, that was 8 years ago. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Yeah, I don't know. I know YouTube took a few down. I can't believe it was 8 years ago. Oh, I've had plenty of debates. See, this was all before lives came out. Maybe this is it. Hold on. No, that wasn't it. I don't know. I don't know where it is. But I know it's there. I don't know. I don't know where it went. But I do have it somewhere. That's another thing too. How did she know exactly where to go? That was also bullshit. You're gonna. How come you started from that corner? Like it was all one big setup. Let me see this. I can't believe I wore my hair that like curly and weird. Yeah, I don't know. I have it somewhere. I don't know where. I have to go through like every video, but it's there. So, but all right. This I am on 2.5 hours. Rocco, anytime you want to talk about MAM, I will set up a live. We could talk about it. No problemo. I mean, because honestly, that case I could talk about all day. There's legit nothing about that case that I don't know. Let me see something. Hold on. No. Yeah, and that's another thing. Why wasn't the coroner allowed on the property? Why didn't they have a Oh, is it on there? No. What? Oh. Hold on. I can't find it. I know it's around though. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I did a video on it. I just don't know what happened to it. Mm. It's like in the middle of someone's video. Stephen Avery parents admitting Dassey family lied to put him in jail. Maybe it's on this channel. I don't know. There's so many channels from years ago. I don't know. I'll find it somewhere. You guys think the cases now are big? You should have been around for Making a Murderer. Because we didn't have live streams back then. It was all videos and Facebook groups. Yeah, I'll have to really look for and find it. I know it exists. Maybe Eric Cozy had it. Hold on. But now I'm like determined to find it. I don't know. I have to look. It is very long ordeal, and there's tons of stuff in it. Let's see. I mean, we all made a video about it. That's why I don't know why I can't find it. I mean, it was like big, big news. Phone rep. This it? Maybe? No. No. Shit. Now I'm like determined. There was a lot of stuff on Reddit there back then too. Like people were like big writers back then. Oh, you know where I can look? Hold on. Let me see something. Shit. Oh. I can't believe some of these groups still have members. Albums. Shit. How is my own group not showing up? All right, maybe it's on here. Rocco, you got me looking everywhere. Ah, shit. Let's see. What's this? No. Bear with me. What's this? No. And I guess someone took over this group. All right, back to 2020. Bear with me. I don't know who this group is, but Stephen Avery Project, they're still posting. See, this would have been long before Zellner came into the picture. No, it was my group. This other one was my group. It was Making a Murder Uncensored. I archived it because someone kept like hitting it. But that picture would have been like in the beginning. There's so much media to go through. It's crazy. All right, what's this? Sure. Rocco, all for you. Just so you guys can see what I'm looking through, just so you're not sitting here in silence. This is what I'm looking through. But this would have been like long before Zellner days. Hold on. No. We're in the right time zone though. Ugh. Not that. No, that's showing what I showed you guys already. But it's around here somewhere. It's around the same time. Oh, is this it? Maybe this was it. No, on 11/5, towing company possibly. No, that's Zellner. I know it exists though. It was a huge thing. I will find it. I'll find it because they made this whole big stink about it. That it was that they had just put in the wrong date. I don't know why I can't find it. But it was like huge. I don't know. I'll find it and get back to you. Now I'm just determined. So, all right. I'm going to get off. I've been on 3 hours. I did not expect that. I know. I'm just saying. I know it's around. I mean, it was this whole big thing with the whole making a murderer community. This big thing. And that's why I don't know why I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it on my videos. I can't find it here. I can't find it anywhere. And it really was a big thing. Weird. I don't know. Someone's got to have it. So, all right. I will see you beautiful people later. Hopefully I'll find it later. And if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. But I should be able to be on later. All right. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Yeah, definitely email me, Rocco. I'll get some guilters too. My friend Greta is a guilter. She's diehard guilter. So, all right, but I'm determined to find this. I'm going to ask a couple of people. All right, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Peace.